You're listening to the Voiceover Casting Corner, a podcast and question and answer session recorded live every month. VCC is brought to you by the Voicecaster. The Voicecaster casts thousands of voices every year across all genres, and we're excited to give you an inside look at the casting process direct from our casting team.
Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 17 of the Voiceover Casting Corner. My name is Kelly Mushinsky. I am the owner and head of casting here at the Voicecaster.
And I'm Catherine Horan, Senior Casting Director at the Voicecaster.
So today our topic is all about community. So community can obviously be so many things. It can be, a more intimate community. It can be a bigger community, but community is such an important part of not just life, but our careers. And I feel like so much of voiceover is so isolated now. Like literally, you are recording in isolation booths all day long by yourself. So finding that community, a community of like-minded people can just be so important. It can be so beneficial. There are so many things that you can benefit from being in a community, and other people can benefit from you being in a community as well, just by having that accountability and learning from each other. So we want to talk about building community, creating community, joining community.
So community is a great way to have accountability. You're having a group of people where you can check in and they help you stay on track with your career goals. It's also a great place where you can have people that you can bounce ideas off of and people you can get and give advice to about topics that you know. It's also a great way to network. We're always talking about how important networking is because you never know where those job opportunities are going to come from. So it's a great way to network with other actors as well as other professionals in the voiceover field. And it can be a great way to stay on top of your game, keep learning. It's a great way to find encouragement and support and get opportunities that you might not otherwise have.
Yeah, so many pluses for being a part of a community. Where do you find a reputable community, or how do you create one? There are tons of things out there. We say reputable because there are also some not so reputable communities out there. We have seen those groups. I have been a part of those groups where I'm just like, wow, what are they talking about? Is not the information that they should be giving people. So it is also important to make sure that where you're getting your information from is reputable. You don't just want to get information from anyone or anywhere. So obviously there are a lot of things out there. So you can start just in a more intimate setting in terms of classes that you've taken. I have had a lot of students who have taken our classes end up creating groups of their own on Facebook or on Slack or, any of the other things, just to stay in touch, just to hold each other accountable, to see what the other ones are up to get advice. It's like they just reach out to that group, having that trusted group, and then of course there are bigger communities. I mean, you can find Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, some of them good, some of them not as good. And some of them, it's like a solid 2,000 people and it's very reputable, great people involved. Some are 5,000 people and some of those are reputable people involved and some of them not so much. You kind of have to vet things a little bit to make sure you're looking at, what's out there. And then of course, you have membership groups. You have masterminds, things like that as well that are typically handled slightly differently. So, masterminds are usually a small group of people. Memberships are usually a paid community. So typically the people in memberships are more dedicated. They're going to be there more and participate more and want to give more because they're paying for that experience. They're paying for that group. Yeah. Investing in themselves and investing in the group, investing in that community, knowing that it's so important.
Yeah, and there's lots of different ways that you can find some of these communities. There's some great conferences and industry events. So things like That's Voiceover, VO Atlanta, the Mid-Atlantic VO Conference. There's so many different voiceover-centric conferences popping up anymore. I feel like there's one probably in most areas of the country. Or at least something that's in your time zone, maybe go to. And it's a great way. They're great ways to network, to learn, and grow your VO business. So that can be a great way to get some connections and start making these communities.
Yeah, and the trick is staying in touch with those people. There's even like the VO retreats and things like that now too, where it's like you just get to know these people, make those connections, and right there you have community. You have people that you can reach out to when you have a question, whether it's a technical question, you want some, advice on an audition that you just did, you want somebody to check out your website, things like that. It's the community can be so useful. It can also just be useful for venting. Like, can you believe that we had a 1-hour turnaround?
Right.
We did that to some people a couple weeks ago. Not our fault, not our choice, but it literally was.
I hear actors complain about that all the time. I know we're not the only ones.
Exactly. And it's just one of those things where like you got to have those people to that sounding board. You got to vent to people and know that like
make sure you're not
alone. Yeah. And you're not the only one in your booth at 1 a.m. after the kids are asleep or after, the neighborhood quiets down. And you're not the only one who's had a streak where it's like, I haven't booked anything in a while. Am I ever going to book something again? Having that community is a way to know that you are not alone. In fact, it's however you feel on any given day, there are 1,000 other voice actors who feel the same way at the same time. So it's nice to know that even though you're not constantly talking to people, you are not alone.
You're all going through the same thing.
Yes, always. And I mean, that's part of the reason we come on and do this. It started off as just an ask us anything, and it kind of turned into, we have topics that we want to cover. We wanted to offer that reputable resource to all of you, sort of form this community, which we've actually done in several ways. This past week, we finally opened up the Voicecaster Insiders membership, which is proving to be a pretty awesome community of people. We have such an array of people. And one of the best things about communities like that too is like you have the people who are just starting out. You have the people who are pros, who have been doing this for 30 years. And there is such an array of people in there that even just the questions that people ask, everybody's got different viewpoints. And I think that is such an important thing too.
Different levels of experience. So yeah, it's really cool to see these people come together and what things are bouncing off each other.
And it's like, and the support in there, obviously because it's our membership group, we are active in there. Myself, Catherine, and Ben, we are all in there. And so it's like, we're responding to things. We are giving feedback. We have a section that is just for feedback where it's like, okay, post your demo, post your website, post an audition, anything that you are looking for feedback on. And us, our casting team, as well as the other members are going to give you some feedback. We are really striving for a supportive community.
Yeah, it's a safe space.
Criticism, a safe place to share these things and not feel embarrassed or not feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Oh, these people are pros and I'm not. It's like, no, we have people who are just starting out. And I think it's important when you're just starting out to also have the community because, I mean, that's how you network. That's how you grow. So many important things with it. Yeah. We're also doing some cool things just in terms of like each day kind of has its own specific theme. So that has been fun to see people interacting with that. So we do Sunday strategy. We have Monday motivation, take action Tuesday, wisdom Wednesday, thriving Thursday, follow through Friday, and self-care Saturday. So each day kind of has a separate focus. And then we also have a monthly challenge. So for February, we are doing a bingo card. And everything on the bingo card is all actionable items. So things that you can actively be doing, things that you maybe not necessarily are thinking about or trying on your own. So it just kind of encourages you to do some of those things.
It's a kind of a springboard too to help you with these things in your career that maybe you didn't think, oh, well, that would be a good idea or that could be fun to try. So it's a great place for things like that too. Just new ideas and things to kind of keep it fresh, keep yourself motivated.
Yeah. And it's been so fun to see like what some of the people have been saying because people are like, oh, I've always been scared. One of the comments was, I've always been scared to reach out to people and do cold submissions and things like that. And I submitted to 5 people and I already heard back from one who wants to keep me on file. And we've only been going for a week and things are already happening for people.
Sometimes people just need that little push that push to do it, and they do it, and it's like, oh wow.
We're giving you permission to reach out to people, to do things, to take these steps forward, to try different things with your audition. We are trying to cover not just the acting side of it all, but we are covering the business side, and we're covering the mindset side. Because again, going back to being so isolated in your phone, it is really easy to get in your head. So we're trying to help you out of that and see things a little bit differently. Each month we'll have a different challenge, and we'll be doing, prizes, gift cards, things like that. So it makes it fun. It encourages people to do it. And you have that accountability, in the group. We did post in the comments as well. We have an introductory rate right now, and that goes up on February 15th. So if you are interested in joining us, you can check that out. It's on voicecasterlab.com. But finding a community, whether it's with us or not, doesn't matter. Finding your community, a place that works for you is what everyone needs to do. You can't do this job alone. And like we always talk about it, me and Catherine always talk about, you've probably heard us say it in the podcast a million times, it's all about collaboration. We literally can't do our jobs without you. We want to give you, the voice actors, as much information as we possibly can. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're setting up this community. That's why we're doing all of the things that we do, going to all these conferences.
When the actors that we submit are great, the client loves us, they're going to keep coming back to us. So we're going to keep working. We're going to help keep getting you work. So we all help each other.
It's a win-win for everyone. Yeah, and here's the thing, like the voiceover community is one of the best and most supportive communities out there. I mean, you ask people who also do on camera and they're like, it is not so like on camera. Everybody is so welcoming and supportive, and
no,
no,
not like on camera.
No, it's such a great community. So I encourage you to get out there and meet the people in the community.
Yeah, they're going to want to help you.
All right. So let's go ahead, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. We also have collected a few questions as well. So the first question I'm seeing here says, why is being part of a community important in the voiceover industry? So you're not isolated.
That support, that accountability, network.
Yeah, it's such a big world, and there are so many different ways to approach things, different ways to find opportunities. It's great to have that community and that support behind you.
I think we've told this story before, but I've heard several stories from different actors about, someone came to them about this job and they're like, well, I'm not really great for it, but my friend so-and-so would be perfect for that. So you never know where those kinds of jobs might come from. It could come from someone from your community that's thinking about you. Oh yeah, the John Doe would be perfect for that.
I actually just saw in a Facebook community that I'm a part of, I saw somebody post, I think it was an industrial narration client that they've been working for a long time. And they were asking the actor if they had any recommendations for a couple of other roles. So they put it out in this community and, to see who's interested and who fits the specs. So it's like even actors will have things that come up from their clients where they need somebody who sounds like XYZ. And that could be you. Having that community can be so beneficial.
Exactly. So let's see. How can a community help me grow as a voice actor or a casting professional?
So obviously, community, there's a lot to it. So you can get extra resources in our insiders membership. It's like we are giving you actionable things to actually do, to get out there and do it. We are encouraging you to do things, to look at things differently with the mindset aspect. And this goes for any area of your life. Obviously we're focusing on voiceover and you as a business. But it's also just in your personal life. Having community is so incredibly important to your mental health. And I think when you are in a studio all day and you're recording auditions and you're sending them off, you have no idea who, if anyone, is listening. And like, where does it go? It's like you do all this work on your own, you send it off, and you never hear anything from anybody. And it's like some people never even they're like, I've never actually talked to my agent before. It's all through email, things like that. And it's like, we need a community. We need to connect with people. We need to get back to that connection. So I think that helps your business grow and
Mhm.
you as an individual.
And coming it from our perspective, what do we get out of it? We've been saying it's a connection. It's a way to connect with other like-minded people, but it's also nice to hear what actors are going through and what their concerns are and what questions they have, because we're on the other side of what they're going through. So I don't always, we're not on the ground doing things the way they are. So being able to hear what their needs are and what their questions are, and how we can help and support them. That's always
Mhm.
great, because we don't always know, because we're not
Yeah.
looking at the industry always from their point of view. So it's
Mm.
nice to get that other viewpoint, and hearing what we can do to make things more transparent.
And we care. I'm not every casting director might care, but we genuinely care, and we want to know how to better collaborate. It's really all about the collaboration. Oh, this is a good one. So what are the signs of a strong, supportive community? That's a fantastic question.
And make sure there's people in there that are doing what you're interested in. Make sure they're actors that are actively working, or industry professionals that are actively working. You don't want too many people. Back in my day, we did things this way, because that's not helpful to what's going on now. Make sure they're active and they're in it day to day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And kind of figuring out their expertise. Are they an actor? Are they a demo producer? If they only offer coaching and you see a lot of comments where all they're talking about is how you need extra training, you need extra training, you need a coach, you need a coach. That might be a red flag, because they might just be trying to sell you their services. I think the biggest thing is that you are connecting with the people, that you're not seeing things posted in there. Like, I've seen some things in a couple of the like big Facebook groups that I went on, and I was like, oh, I'm going to join this and see what it's all about. There is some sketchy stuff in some of those, obviously trying to sell you things, but it's just, you have to find a group of reputable people. And you also don't want to just be in a group where all they do is vent and complain, because there was one where that was like all they did. And I was like, okay, like, if you don't like doing voiceover, then don't do it. Like, get a different job. It's not a job to put yourself through if you don't have the passion and love for it.
Oh, I like this one. How can I balance participating in a community with my busy work schedule? Because I feel like that's anymore. There's always so much to do.
It's like adding one more thing to your plate, right?
It's like, oh, one more thing. I mean, this sounds great, but when am I going to have time? Kind of the nice thing, especially with what we're doing, it's kind of on your own schedule. And a lot of these things, it's, participate when you can. There's no, you have to do it every day, or you've got to make sure you do X amount of, whatever. It's kind of as you can, at your own pace, at your leisure. There's no commitment, and you can put into it what you want to. Yeah. So that helps a lot too. Because if you've got a busy week and you don't have time to check in, that's fine. Yeah. Come back when you can.
Yeah. And like, we have the daily thing going on, and it's like, not everybody is going to do every single thing. It's like, you do what resonates with you. Mm-hmm. We got, tons of thoughts and comments on the Monday motivation yesterday. It's like, we'll see, what happens with Take Action Tuesday. It's like, it's sometimes Self-Care Saturday. It's like, we had a few people respond, but not too many. Part of that's probably because they're unplugging. They're not going to be in the community. That's part of their self-care, So it's honestly, it's like, you can take 5 minutes a day if you want to, or you can every Saturday spend an hour in the community catching up on the week. It's really what you want to put into it is all you have to put into it. There's no rules. Exactly. Then it's not.
Most creators are probably like that too. They'd love to have you as much as you're comfortable. Yeah, that's okay. Because we all have those weeks. We all have times where it's just nuts. You just don't have time for anything extra in your periphery. That's okay. Get back to it when you can.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a couple of questions about specifically about the Voicecaster Insiders membership. So we'll just jump to those, answer a couple more questions, and wrap things up. So first of all, what is Voicecaster Insiders membership and who is it for? So we kind of answered what it is. It's a membership group. We have a private community through the Kajabi app. So it's you can either log in through voicecasterlab.com or you can get the app. So you can, have it both ways, mobile or browser.
Mhm.
It is for anyone. It is for anyone in the voiceover world. So like I said, we have beginners and we have people who are 30 plus year veterans. It's for anyone. It's an open community. Our biggest thing is that we wanted to have a safe and supportive community that we haven't found anywhere else out there. That's why we created it. And that's why we're telling you, it's like either join a community or create a community, but you have to have a community of some sort. That kind of brings the power back into it.
Yeah, and then I know some people are wanting to know a little more of the details about what kind of resources and content we've got in there, and what kind of feedback are we getting, and
Mhm.
and I know we went over kind of the different goals for each day of the week, and that you do get access to everyone here at the Voicecaster. We do all chime in and participate in different ways, and there's a whole feedback thing where, if you've got an audition or a demo or something you want feedback on, you can submit that, and you'll get our feedback as well as the other members of the membership group.
And as far as other content, we do have a bonus content section, and we have some resources in there as well that you can access. We do a monthly live call. So where we just get on with any of the members who can join us, answer any questions, things like that. We are also doing some pop-up workouts and things. We totally open it up. If members want to get together and hop on a Zoom and read copy together, great. You can also do things like that with or without us, so there's a lot of those kind of opportunities. I know there has been the question of one-on-one feedback, things like that. And it's like, we don't really do one-on-one mentoring. We all do our own private coaching and things like that as well, if more one-on-one work like that is needed. But the community is one where it's like, if you post your demo, we're going to give you feedback. We had somebody post their demo, a couple different versions. We gave our opinion on which version we thought was strongest from the casting perspective. So, things like that. We want to give you as much feedback as possible. Obviously, with a group of people, a larger group of people, it's a little harder to do one-on-one kind of things, but there's other opportunity for that as well.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Can I join the Voicecaster's insider membership at any point, or is it only at certain times of the year?
Yeah, so right now you can join at the introductory rate until Saturday. And then after that, the rate goes up, but we are going to keep it open. You can join anytime, either at the monthly or the annual rate. All right. So I don't see any other questions. So we'll keep it short and sweet today. We won't keep you guys. Make sure you start reaching out, build that community. They always say it takes a village, right? It takes a community. You have to have that community. So if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to us. You can email us. You can comment on any of the videos, YouTube or on Facebook, anything like that. And we're here. We're happy to help. Have a great day.
Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Catch our next VoiceOver Casting Corner episode live on Facebook and YouTube. Check our socials or follow us for the latest info. Thanks for listening.